With some variations in details. Similar versions of this lesson are found in Islamic and Jewish traditions, as well as our Christian tradition. Hagar was the Egyptian servant of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Sarah had been barren for a long time and sought a way to fulfill God's promise to Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. They were getting older, and Sarah offered Hagar to Abraham as a second wife. The union between Hagar and Abraham produced a son, Ishmael. Historians accept that Ishmael is the progenitor of the Arab people and thus the Islamic faith. About 13 years after Ishmael's birth, Sarah miraculously gave birth to Isaac. The tensions between the two women heightened. Genesis tells us that Isaac was weaned, so scholars would say that would be somewhere between age 5 and possibly as much as 12 years of age. Now, sibling relations have not changed dramatically. We all know that brothers mock and tease each other, partly for fun, some out of sibling rivalry, some out of competition. That was a major part of my brother's job description. Conflict between the two sons, half-brothers, was almost inevitable. Abraham found it hard to agree with Sarah's complaint when she demanded or requested that he cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be an heir with Isaac. Now, Sarah is using her power ruthlessly here to clear out the competition, showing no regard for the welfare of Ishmael, Hagar, or even Abraham's feelings. Quite frankly, Abraham is distressed at this demand. After all, Sarah had arranged this union. This isn't a Cain and Abel situation with violence. Ishmael was doing what big brothers do. Abraham cared for Ishmael. To cast Hagar and Ishmael out in this barren wasteland was an excessively harsh punishment for this kind of situation. Abraham might have been tempted to reject Sarah's request, but he sought the Lord in this matter, as we should always seek the Lord's guidance. Abraham was assured by God of two things: that Isaac is indeed the seed through which humanity would be saved, and that God would protect Hagar and Ishmael, for Ishmael will be the father of a great nation. Early the next morning, Abraham brought Hagar and Ishmael together. Abraham compassionately gave Hagar bread and water, but he then sent them into the wilderness of Beersheba. She and her son wandered until the water was completely consumed. In despair, she placed her son under the bush. Like a good mother, she could not bear to see her son just wither and die. This was a low point in her life, and she burst into tears. She had not gone all that far from Ishmael. She was still a mother, but a mother who had no place to turn in despair. Her child was going to die. She was likely going to see her child die. As a parent, I can think of no more desperate situation, but God does his best work when we have no answer. Genesis tells us that she was crying and the boy was crying. God heard the cries and dispatched an angel to aid them. The angel opened Hagar's eyes, and she saw a well of water in this barren place. He did more than rescue her for the moment. The angel conveyed to Hagar God's hope, telling Hagar that God would make a great nation out of Ishmael. God can open our eyes and change our perspective and our future without us even asking. They lived in the desert. Ishmael became an archer, allowing him to care for them. Even out of rejection, God can bring greatness. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.